Hello and welcome back to the channel. It has been about a month and a half since King of the Hammers. I have had Space Kitty locked up in her jail cell right in this trailer right here. She has not moved in a month and a half. I've been so busy at the shop, I haven't been able to have any time for myself. Go figure. So let's see, what do we have here? Oh, we got a tire that went through hell and back and a nice race line. But yeah, we have the car right here. You know, she has not seen the light of day in a month and a half. So we do have some work to do. As you can see, we got some broken tubing right here on both sides. I should have put a brace right here. I got told to do that and I didn't, so that was my bad. We got a bent high lift jack right here. You know, this thing went through hell and back and survived, you know, sticking out like 2 feet. Car's in the shop. Let's find out what kind of stuff we got, kind of surprises. What do you guys think? So the old handy dandy tool out. You know, I gotta say though, these cats, man, they're looking frisky today. I'm feeling frisky too. So anyway, it's been a long day of work today. Worked on this power wagon in the back, and then did a little work today over on the Wagoneer over there. So what's going on with that is an LS swap, and I think I kind of need to make a trip to the junkyard to go get a couple of bolts. You know, and you source a motor from your local auto dismantler. You know, sometimes you just get things that aren't there all the way. So I got to get a couple more bolts, basically some stuff to put alternator and power steering bracket, you know, on, because when I got the motor it didn't have that on there. Anyways, and then I got to get some steam ports because those weren't there either. Used to have tons of that stuff, but you know how it goes. You know, when you do race car stuff, you throw stuff away. So let's set this camera just up here for a second. See what kind of surprises we got in here. Oh yeah. So starters, got some fire heat damage stuff. Where can I put this? Back here. Okay, well, the passenger side looks fantastic, but that's not where the fire was. Ooh. Oh God. All this fucking rust. That's how it goes, and even chilling for a month and a half. Anyways, but this side, I got some fire extinguisher stuff there. I got burnt wires there. You know, this is the line right here. So the fitting directly underneath here, that's what came loose, and that's what started all of this. And then oh wow, got real crispies there. It's part of the trigger wire for the alternator. I'm surprised that still worked. Hey. The only thing that actually did completely shut off was the oil cooler right up here in the front. So those wires I don't know, part of them are here. I don't even know at this point, so I just gotta start taking stuff apart and looking at things. So I'm not too thrilled about it. I'm gonna be dead honest about that. You know, put a brand new car together. I mean, some stuff's always gonna happen, but who wants their car to light on fire? So anyways, I'm going to get to it and then I'll show you what I find. All right, welcome back. So I just got a nice little package in the mail today. Let's get this guy all set up. All right, so what we got here, a little package from Racetronics. And this is very actually needed. And now what we got here is I got a new pigtail, and this right here, this is going to be for the coolant temperature sensor, because the other one's like, I mean, it plugs in there and everything, but the plastic's so melted I don't want it to fall out or do something, so we may as well do a new one. And then what we got right here, look at that bad boy. So this is a new adapter to go from an LS1 cam sensor to an LS2. So what that means is, normally on an LS1 type of engine, the cam sensor's on the back, you know, it actually plugs into the block, drops straight down back behind the intake manifold. While nothing wrong with that, they still read correctly, but honestly, it's a pain in the butt to work on that if you got to get that out in the middle of a race because it fails or something. So I actually went to a front mounted LS2 type of sprocket on the timing cover, and that's what this goes in play for. Now, what I did with this a little bit different is I did not know that these guys had a different part number. And what this actually allows you to do, if we can go on over to the car, is before I just ran the factory LS2 timing cover. Let's see if I can get a little light going on, and it actually has, let's get in here a little bit. It actually has the sensors right there, but then it has this little cover that runs down, and then there's a little harness connector right here, and then this would have been that other Racetronic guy right here. But the new one I have actually is going to eliminate this garbage right here and plug directly right in there. I got my uniform guy here for the shop. I got to go get this. All right, I'm back. So what I got done, let me pull this stuff out of here. Oh, there's more than this, but that's the barbecued cam sensor wire, coolant temperature switch, some other stuff, and there's some other stuff over there. So as you can see, we got a new, let me get some light in there, got a new pigtail in there. I also replaced these plug wires because they were all messed up from the fire, and got the alternator plug and everything fixed back up. Oil temperature sensor wire, which is right here, runs up to there, that's all fixed up. So all that stuff is fixed. So the wiring damage is, you know, okay now. And then I changed all the spark plugs actually on the driver bank too, because they were all fouled out from, you know, the misfiring from everything. And then I checked everything on the passenger side, everything looks good. So a little update on there. So now what we have today is where this tube actually broke, both sides. So it broke here and here, and it actually had a gap about that big where it was just pulling down. So I got this ratchet strap contraption consisting of 3 straps right here. So that's what I did, and I was able to pull everything pretty close back. On this side I do have a little gap and barely get my nail in there, but you know what, it's totally okay. It's gonna be all right. So I don't have much time today because again, I got to get my daughter from daycare in a little bit, we're gonna be doing some welding a little bit, so hopefully I don't block too much of the view and you guys can actually see kind of what's going on. I may change this to a different area, but I'm gonna be bebopping and bouncing around doing all that kind of stuff. So it's just our air pressure, so I just put some more argon in here. Let's get this thing going. All right, a couple things before we get going. Had to buy a new Harbor Freight drill after like 3 years. The thing finally died. It's only $40. The cool thing is they upgrade it to a brushless setup, and it uses the same batteries, so I'm really not upset. feeling I need to crawl under this car. See if I can get in there a little bit. Let's see what's up here. Alright. Let's turn that fire speed down a little bit. I found a little bit of a decent view. It's not my finest home cooking, but I claim to be a chef anyway, so. I need to go get my chair. See what I can do here, and I can lay over this a little bit. All right, there we go. Okay, now, let's get under there now. Let's go buzz that thing up now. Oh, a little section under there. Alright, it's glued together. Ugh. Yeah, like I said, not my best home cooking, but you know, it's on there and that's on there, so At least it'll hold it. Now I'm going to work on getting this brace cut up shortly if I have enough time. But what I also went and picked up today, got a piece of a 2-inch 120 wall DOM. That's to fix this beast. I mean, look at that. Ooh. You can thank Outer Limits for that. I mean, because I was trying to finish the race and we were running out of time, and I kind of banged a few things up in there. But oh yeah, check this out. Ooh. Got an awesome girlfriend. She made me the air freshener for the car, so thank you. All right, off to the next piece. Okay, we got 2 pieces right there, close enough. Get this glove off here. Now the idea with these is we are going to set them right up in there. Oh yeah, well look at that. We actually knew what we were doing. So we got to make a little incision. Remember, we're going to do our pen tracing method right here. So I'm just going to guide it along the tube and let it ride. I got to actually switch gloves though, so I can actually hold this and trace with the other. Oh, come here, dude. Alright. Okay, so that's going to be what it's going to be. So again, we're just going to put this right up underneath the bottom. Do a little trace, and then we'll do a little trace up here too. Okay. So you can see the little 2 pieces we got. So we're going to cope those off. And then after these 2 edges, we got to do the inner edges. So baby steps. We're going to start small with this. Let's go back over here to my office. Just get you guys like the spectacular view. Best seat in the house, guarantee it. And, get my scuba goggles on. I can't talk right now. Get my earmuffs. Get my favorite work gloves, these ridge cuts. These are freaking amazing. Put this in there. Let's cut this out of there. One side, let's do the other. So I kind of took it upon myself to just kind of guess where I think it's going to be. So let's go find out. Let's see if this thing fits in there. So pretty close. I mean, need to take a little bit more out of the top right there. So we're gonna go a little bit more on there. And then not to bore you with a bunch of stuff, so I'm just gonna get these pieces fit and we'll come right back to it after they're done. All right, I wanna share something with you guys. So like I said, we lost the whole driver coil bank during the race. It happened pretty much on the sand hill, Big Johnson, after we came through Thor's Hammer and we were riding the rev limiter, and then all of a sudden, you know, the motor just started. After I came from rev limiter and got down to idle, after we cleared the hill, it just started running so bad. And then between there and the finish line, the motor was just bucking, popping. AFRs were like 19-1, you know, because it was reading super big misfires. And then when I just got into the driver's side cylinder head, all 4 spark plugs were wasted, which is a good indicator that clearly, obviously, it isn't just one burn plug wire. It's, you know, the whole bank of coils went out. And that's an easy way to test to see if you got a bad coil. Look at the cylinder spark plug, and it'll tell you, you know, usually, hey, there's a problem either with the wire or the coil, and then you can go to further diag. So what I just did was I just found this. So we talked about this before, how important on the Holley harness, there's a pair of ground wires, and it directly says 2-cylinder head, driver or passenger side, and you have to have those on there. And just like the factory LS wire harness, if you lose a whole bank of coils, go look at that ground on the back of the head. That is usually 9 out of 10 times a problem of why the whole bank just shut off. So that's your indicator. Go look at that wire. So I was just in here thinking about things. Actually started last night. I was thinking in bed, you know, is there a problem with the ground wire and the harness from the head to the ECU? So I was already looking at the schematic today. Kind of thought about it a little bit more. It's like, no, there's a problem, and this has happened before. Because what was weird is the motor on when it was missing all the way up till the finish, sometimes it'd randomly just start running smooth again, and kind of had a suspicion about something, and now we got it. So light isn't super bright, but right down there, oh, I'm gonna try my best here with this, guys. Ugh. Come on, light, stay there. Anyways, I'm gonna reach my hand down in there. I'm gonna point, but anyways, right there is, man, I'm not very good at it. But anyways, in the Holley harness, this right here, this wire I'm gonna wiggle, it's right next to the coil pack connector. That goes down to the cylinder head. I know you can't see it because it's a little dark. But anyways, I just looked at this thing and oh, holy smokes. The nut's just loose. So that's a good thing to find. I'm pretty sure I had that darn thing tight because I have gone rounds over the last few years with these wires. Either I forget to do them because I'm working on the motor or they're coming loose. So I was happy to see that that's loose. Now I know what the problem is. I don't got to go into the wire harness. I'm actually going to back that bolt off and then put a split washer on there so it stays tight. So I'm going to go snug that up. And then another thing I just did, because we are going down the rabbit hole of misfiring stuff, I just took the entire, let's go down here, the new cam sensor wire, and I got it all the way down from the front of the timing cover all the way back to where it plugs in on the Holley harness on the back of the engine. I got some Faraday tape. So what that does is it tries to block electronic signals from interfering with the wiring, and in this case the cam sensor wiring. I don't want other stuff getting in there. And what I also did too was, before, that wire actually used to run up through the front and it was kind of near the alternator. So instead this time I routed it, which is this guy, I routed it up this fuel rail, and then in, let's see if I can get in here, in this MSD intake there's a little cutout for a stock fuel rail. I actually just bridged it right across and then ran it right there down to the connector. So extra step, trying to keep a clean signal running to our coil packs. So that's what I just did. So I wanted to share that with you before I forgot about it, but I'm gonna get back to it. All right, so got the panels back on up here. I gave myself a little bit more clearance right here up at the top of the throttle body because it was starting to rub. And then I also got this little cable in hooked up to this PCI intercom. What that's gonna allow me to do is actually hook my GoPro to this little cable right here, and then anything I say in the helmet or the co-pilot says, it'll actually pick it up on the GoPro. So that's gonna be pretty cool. So right now I actually have this little box out right here, and this is what the Holley dash mounts in. So I'm gonna cut a hole in the top of this, and then we're gonna use some of these little certs right here, and we're gonna put them on the corners and then cut a bigger plate out to go over the top. So this is gonna act as a little cap on the top of that box, because I was having trouble pulling the cables in through the back of this box as I was hooking it in, and then even to putting the air cleaner on and tightening down the hose clamp was a pain in the butt. So this is something I thought about when I was down at King of the Hammers. I'm like, dude, I need an access hole on the top of this thing. Then I could put this thing together way faster. I could get in there and reach into the wiring on the back and do the air cleaner changes a lot more efficiently. So I'm gonna do that right now since I have a few minutes. So let's get into this thing. And so what I'm gonna do first is we're going to use the cutter disc. We're gonna make a cut right here. And then what I'm gonna do after that is I'm gonna just use a jigsaw. I'm gonna go across the top and jigsaw. I find the jigsaw works pretty good for the aluminum. Got away from me, holy shit. So yeah, thank God I didn't die from that. So here we go. Got a nice hole. So I know I said I was going to use the jigsaw, but you know, it just kind of started working out until it tried to kill me. But these cutter discs ever try to get away from it, I just let go. You know, I don't even want to try to hold that thing. I felt it too. I started to grab the aluminum. I should have just kept skimming back and forth on it before I just dove deep into there, and that was my mistake, you know, because the aluminum, as you can see, it embeds itself in there. It like kind of like tries to glue itself in, so you got to be really slow with it. So next thing, we're gonna get a piece of the scrap metal. Got a ton of aluminum under there. It's all aluminum under there. So we're just gonna make a piece that's, you know, maybe 3/4 of an inch bigger on the perimeter, and then we will go from there. Well, there goes that. Ah, that sucks. We're like right there too, you know? I think I got another blade, so let's take a look. I got 2 certs put in here. So we're using this little Harbor Freight gun. Just gonna push it in right there. See if I can do this here. I don't know if I'm doing this completely right, but I don't know. I don't think it's working exactly like intended, but but anyways, see on the back side it kind of starts crushing them down. Makes a little ball at the end right there. That's all I'm trying to shoot for with this thing. It's about as good as it gets. So anyway, so that's number 3. That's kind of cool. So get that out of there, and then I finish cutting out the plate right here. This is going to be what goes over the top right there, and then we'll be able to just unscrew it. So I ran out of bandsaw blades, so I did just cut that by hand. It's what you gotta do. I don't want to run downtown, so I'm gonna go put the last cert in here, and then I gotta take some 1/4 20 bolts, cut the heads off, round them out to a point, and then I'm actually going to screw them into here and leave the points sticking up. And then I'm going to set the plate on the top and then just lightly hammer all 4 corners, and that'll give me a witness mark on the back of this plate right here, and then I'll know where to drill the holes, so that way the 1/4-20s can go through. Okay, the TV box is back in there, and I got a lot of access to air cleaner, intake temp sensor, and the back of all the stuff down there. It's gonna make my life a lot easier. So I just took the dirty air cleaner and we got it sitting in a bucket of soap. But in the meantime, we are gonna pop this bad boy on from K&N. K&N was cool enough in the tech and contingency line at the Hammers. They gave me a brand new air filter. All I had to do was ask. So they were really interested in asking me about my experience with their air filters, and they just gave me a brand new one. So I run the Big Kahuna. As far as I know, this is like the longest air filter that they have that fits my application. More air filter equals more dirt to be captured. So the brand new one, brand new hose clamp. So this guy is gonna go right on the end right there. So that's how that thing's gonna mount. I'm gonna get that mounted up. Okay, both of the little gussets are in. This side's in there too. So now what we're going to be doing is repairing this A-pillar. So we got this big ass dent. Again, spooners. So I got these hose clamps here. These are going to be my little templates. So we're just going to cut right along this edge. Cut right along that edge right there. That way we can try to get the squarest cut possible. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but that's what we're going to do. So, time for the scuba goggles. So we're going to start it with the cutter disc. We'll probably move up to a Sawzall in a little bit, but this is what we're going to do. I'm going to change this to one with a dart. Like this, just shoot too much stuff. Alright, got the bone saw. Cut no bones of that. Do a fresh one. down, dude. That thing took a freaking hit. All right. All right, now I'm gonna get these clamps off of here. I'm gonna start beveling these tubes, make a measurement, and that's gonna be our new piece right there to replace that. Hopefully you can see something, but I may have to hop in there. Not really sure yet. I don't really want to, but I might have to. Probably the safest bet to do so. Hit that little piece with the flap disc so it doesn't catch somebody's hand. Man, we got rain, dude. Rain's just coming down today. That's just terrible. Alright. Oh. So yeah, we got a new piece there, no more dent. It'll be good enough. So probably do the rear springs next, change the new rates out. So right now is the rear spring change. I just got done putting these on. So we got 300 and 300 upper, both eye-box springs. And if you've never done one of these Fox 3.0 IBPs, they have this little collar right here, and it's to basically keep the spring from, as it's flexing, it's to keep it from like bowing in and actually chewing up the bottom seal head right here. So there's some steps you have to take in order to just change these springs on like a normal like 2.0, 2.5 coilover. You can just stuff them right down the bottom. There's some extra steps here, so we're going to kind of go over that together. So let's get a better view. So we're going to be starting first with, basically right now I'm undoing this little upper retainer ring, which is also your preload spring. So we're doing that so I can get a little bit of room to actually push the coil up first. I've sprayed some WD-40 on the top of it first, just to make the ring slide easier. Just because you get a lot of sand and dirt in these things. So already knowing what I had to do the other side, I'm just going to take the ring and bring it all the way to the top. This one's going to be a little bit harder. A little bit more spray on it. Now, you can get in there and put the coil compressor on there. That's what I did on the other side, but it just makes more weight. It's Friday, I'm kind of tired. Honestly, that's what we're going to do. Forget about the weight. So it helps having the preload off of the spring so we can turn it now. Let me go turn this air compressor off. It's super loud. So that's going to help us to get that ring off a little bit easier. But like 20 years later, we'll have this off. actually just going to lift this spring up a little bit. We're going to hold it with this. That's why I put this on there. This thing's just freaking heavy, dude. Like I said, it's Friday and I'm tired. It just wants to keep doing that, so we'll just let it keep doing it. Well, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. Now it is. Okay. Now, let's try to get in there and show you what we're up to. So this is that little slider ring stopper thingamabob. So what we got to do is down here on the bottom, let's unearth this because there's going to be some stuff going on. Right underneath where this pick is, there's usually going to be some dirt in there, shock oil, a little bit of that stuff. So kind of clean it out. And it's thick too. So what we have to do, got to use this little tiny Allen key. We're going to put that up in there, and there's a screw in there. What we got to do with the screw is we got to back it out a little bit. Don't take it all the way out, but just back it out a little bit. If I can get this darn thing in there. Okay, it's coming out. So if I remember right, I think this is a bleeder screw for when you fill up the shocks, but I think it also slightly seats in up against the inner seal head. If I'm saying that right, I could be freaking wrong about that, so don't persecute me over that. Okay, so now that we got that loosened up, we're going to be using these guys right here. A little spanner wrench from Snap-on, and these are going to go in the other two bottom little holes right here. And what we actually got to do is we got to back the shock seal head off a little bit. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, in case you're curious. And right now it's fighting me as this compressor, spring compressor, so I should probably work on this back side a little bit more. So I'll show you what we're doing. Do not take this all the way off. You're just going to take it off just enough. You're going to see what's going to happen here. Up underneath the bottom of this, there's going to be these two little metal rings on the bottom. And so what we got to do is back the seal head down enough to get the two-piece rings. They're going to come out of each side. And once you get to there, stop. Don't keep twisting this little seal head, dude. It's not good. And then once this comes off, the black collar will actually drop down, and there's going to be a steel snap ring up there. We just use some snap ring pliers, which I should have had them right here. Snap-on snap ring pliers, and then we're going to take that ring, open it up, and we're going to drop that down off the bottom too. Once that happens, this little slider collar is going to come out. Then we can drop the spring down. So It took me a little bit the first time I ever did springs on these IBPs to figure out what the heck is going on, you know. It was the weirdest thing. I was really stumped. I was like, it took me like 2 hours to figure out what to do. Okay. So we're getting close. I hope you guys can see this. So let's kind of get up in there and we're almost there. Okay, there's what we're looking for. So these guys right here, and they are directional. You don't want to flip it around. So now that that's out, we'll go to the other one. I'll pull that one out too. And then this guy is now going to slide off. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, next piece of this puzzle, like I said, there's this snap ring. Let's look at that. So this is the groove where this piece would ride in. So if you're unfamiliar with it, that's what it does. It's going to go in there just like that, and that's what you're looking at. And then like I said, the collar comes down, and this is the snap ring. So there's a little groove. You just open it up and drop the ring down. Sometimes easier said than done. And again, when I stack my pieces, I'm gonna make sure everything is sitting on the ground facing up. Okay. So now we're gonna zoom back out a little bit, so you guys can see kind of what we're up to. Now I gotta undo this contraption. This was just to keep it up and out of the way and from falling on me. So we're gonna take this off first so it doesn't weigh 1,000,000 pounds. And then catapult your spring the best you can so it goes flying across the shop. Alright, this I don't need this anymore because we're not gonna need that. Spring will drop right out the bottom. Let's get our new springs. So 300. While not necessary, I like to have the lettering and the description of the rates always facing up. I don't like to put them upside down. Same way when I do my serpentine belts, I always make it so I can read it from the front looking at it. I hate backwards stuff. So we're gonna go shove this under the bottom. There's a spring. And then we're gonna go take the slider. Slider's gonna go up next. Snap ring next. We work the snap ring up, and we're going up back to the second groove. All right. Let's come look at this again. So there's the snap ring. Slider goes up, and there's two spots. You can see one's tall, one's thin. This is how we're going to orientate it. Then after that, the little guard piece is going to go up from the bottom up to here. And then we're going to work on putting these little couplers back in that hold this. So we'll slide this up in there. And actually what I'm going to do is clean these a little bit. There's some dirt and stuff on there. I don't think it's necessary, but clean pieces is probably better than dirty pieces. This off there. Actually get this out a little bit. Let's say McLaren. That's a McLaren. I've never even seen one of those in person. What the heck? That's pretty badass. Dude, look at this thing. Holy crap, dude. I've seen those on YouTube, but I've never like seen one in person. Isn't that like $1 million car? Whatever. So there's one. We'll clean the other. That's good enough. All right. So we clipped these half pieces in, and then we want that to sit down, and then we're going to rotate this back again to the right, and then what that's going to do is tighten that piece down. And then I know we're getting ready to lose battery pretty quickly, so just in case, after you tighten this thing down, I like to give it a little whack with the hammer on the spanner wrench just to kind of snug that dude up pretty good, because it seemed like this one actually was a little bit loose, so, but who knows. All right, so there's this. We're gonna a little whack, nothing fancy. Next piece, we will tighten this back up on the bottom. Yeah, a little bit of stuff came out. Kind of almost feels like this fucker got rounded out a little bit, but okay. Now that that's there, we're gonna put the lower spring on too. And I think this is the lower spring. Yes. It says 300 on this one. Okay. And then once this goes up, there's going to be this little guy on the bottom that's got to go up. And then really similar to this piece up here, there's going to be a little two-piece coupler that goes on underneath the black little holder. And there's a little O-ring that holds it together, so be aware of that. Oh. A little crappy, dude. Well, let's go get put back on again. Really don't feel that was necessary. One on the bottom. We'll get ready to do the second one on the bottom. Oh, this is a little bit not super good on the views, but trying to hold this shit and then hold a camera, I don't know about that today. But you gotta lift this stuff up enough so you can get this little rubber O-ring around that little bottom. Okay, let's see if we can take a look at that for you. So here's that retainer. If we lift this up enough, You see, that's that piece right there. So it's a two-piece, and that's what holds it together. So now that we got all that together, we can put everything back, bolt it in, and then we got to apply some preload. And then more than likely, we're going to have to adjust this little stopper. So I'm going to pause this right now. I need to charge up.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb. And I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Also got the coil swap that we were finishing up the other day on the video. I actually jacked up the ride height in the back a couple inches, so that should help pretty good. looks like seagull poop. Surprising it's still hanging tough. How is it still on there? There it goes. Yeah, look at those ugly looking stuff. All right, let's get this on there. couple spatters to get rid of, but and then that's all cleared up too. But happy to have that done. Brand new air filter, filter wraps back on, dash is back in. That's that little access port I put on there. We're almost ready to rock and roll. Back diff covers off. I put this ring and pinion in there 2 years ago. Last 2 years in a row for King of the Hammers, I haven't even had time to pull the back cover off. I mean, the thing was leaking on the ground. I just top up some fluid, and what's in there is some 250 weight Torco, and it's a Yukon ring and pinion 513s with a Yukon install kit. So I mean, it's got Timken bearings. So it's pretty cool to pull the cover off, look in there. It looks almost brand new in there, you know, and that's pretty impressive to put a part in there and not have to look at it for a while. But honestly, it doesn't surprise me, you know. That's why I use the Yukon stuff in the back diff. I mean, if they made 10-inch gears, it'd be in the front too, but they just don't exist. But up until then, it was the Dana 60 with the Yukon stuff for years. So it's really nice to see that. So the only reason I honestly pulled the cover off is because the back was dripping and I don't want it leaking all over my trailer. That's the only reason why that cover's off. So time to scrape off all the goop and put it back together. Oh yeah, this stuff goes in there about as quick as honey does. That's the secret sauce of the day, the 250 weight Torco. So to get plugged in there, we're about a gallon deep almost. That's what I put in this diff. So once it drinks the whole gallon, that'll be full. I also decided to throw on an extra number plate on the front. So we got one of the this guy right there. Ooh. That's the OG number plate off the last car. Because this one I kind of like to use as an air duct. You can see it's got the side wings and it kind of goes right there to funnel air up into the oil cooler for the engine. But it doesn't really quite face forward good enough to pass tech. So even though we already passed the Ultra4 tech to do King of the Hammers, we gotta kind of retech the car again for NorCal Rock Racing. And
So you guys can escape. I love it.
I want to.
you want in there too? Okay. Come on, we're going right here.
Okay, let's make transform it. Transform. Transform. See, I transformed in the robot. Now we hide. Do you like the back?